Good day, guys. Today we are going to revise for grade 8 final examinations. Okay, so before we start with the video, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Fine. Um, right now we're going to start with some of the 2G geometrical shapes. So we have question number 6 here, where it says BCD is a straight line segment. Calculate the size of x. Okay, so now looking at our triangle, let me adjust the size first. Okay, let's hope that it will work out. Let's see. Okay, now looking at this triangle, we are told that this side is equivalent to this side. Okay, so which makes this triangle an isosceles triangle. So what happens in an isosceles triangle? The base angles are equal, meaning that B is also equals to X. Okay. Now, remember, for every statement that you write, you must also write a reason. So, to find X, I'm going to say X from angle A plus X from angle B. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. This will be the wrong route to take. Now, 68, okay, 2x is equals to 68 degrees. What is the reason? It is exterior angle of a triangle. Exterior angle of a triangle. Okay, so now that we know that the sum of the two x is equals to 68, what is the value of x? So you need to divide by 2, so that you can get the value of x, and your x will be equals to 32 degrees. Okay, now for every reason, for every statement, there must be a reason. Okay, cheers. Now let us look at number 7. It says calculate the size of x, then the size of h. Okay, firstly you need x, then angle h. So now what we're going to do here, we know that sum of angles in a triangle, they sum up to 180 degrees. Now that is your starting point. So you're going to say x for this angle over here, plus this one, then plus 2x plus 40, 40 degrees, then plus the third angle, okay, plus x plus 20 degrees equals to 180 degrees. Now, what is the reason for that? There's no space, so I'm going to write it below here. The reason is sum of angles in a triangle. Sum of angles in a triangle. Now your statement and your reason. And your reason over here. Okay. Now let us simplify. When you simplify, you add your like terms. So we have x plus 2x plus another x. So how many x's do we have? We have 4 x's. Then we write 4x. Okay. Now 40 plus 20, will give us 60, which everything sum up to 180 degrees. Okay, now in mathematics, whatever you do on the left hand side, you must also do on the right hand side. So we have 4x plus 60. So I'm going to subtract 60 here. So since I subtracted 60 on the left hand side, I'm also going to subtract 60 on the right hand side. Okay, now these two 60s will cancel each other. I'm going to be left with 4x, which is equal to 180 minus 60 will give us 120 degrees. Okay, now remember, whatever you do on the left hand side, you must also do on your right hand side. So I'm going to divide by 4, divide by 4. So x will give me 30 degrees. Now, the question says calculate the size of x, which we achieved. Okay, then the size of h. So right now we must calculate the size of h. So h angle h will be equals to 2 into x, which we found to be 30 plus 40. So 2 times 30 is 60 plus 40 will give us 100 degrees. Now this is the size of angle h. Okay, now let us proceed. Calculate the size of angle n. Okay, now we are asked to calculate the size of angle n. Now, before you get the size of angle n, you have to find the value of x. Okay, how do you do that? Sum of angles in a triangle, they sum up to 180 degrees. So we are going to have, let me try to extend. Yes. Okay. I want to try to extend. All right, so that when I write my reasoning and statement, everything can make sense. Okay. Now we are going to have 2x minus 50 degrees as angle M plus 2x minus, okay, network is giving me problems, minus 30 plus x plus 10 degrees. Everything they amount to 180 degrees. What is your reason? Sum of angles in a triangle. Sum of angles in a triangle. Now you simplify. If you add all your x's together, you will notice that they will amount to 5x. Okay. Now if you add negative 50, negative 30 plus 10, they will amount to negative 70 degrees. okay, which is equals to 180 degrees. Now I will take 70 to the other side. It's that principle we apply when we say what you do on the left hand side, you must also do on the right hand side. Okay, so we have 5x minus 70 plus 70. Okay, because I want to get rid of that 70. Even this side on my right hand side, I'm also going to add with my 70. Okay, plus 70. Okay, now the two 70s will cancel each other over there. These two 70s will cancel each other over there. Okay, so what I will be having right now is 5x. Now when I add 180 and 70, they'll give me 250. Okay, now that means our 5x will be equals to 250. Then you divide by 5, you also divide by 5. So now the value of x okay, here you're supposed to divide by 5. Then the value of x will be 250 divided by 5, which is equals to 50 degrees. Okay. Now that you got the value of x, you can calculate angle n. Angle n will be 2 into 50 minus 30. So which is 100 minus 30, which gives us 70 degrees. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Here's another question here. They want you to calculate the size of x. So guys, the trick here is for you to notice these signs over here. These signs over here, they're basically telling you that this line is equals to this line. And this is an isosceles triangle. And what's happening in an isosceles triangle? This angle here, which is G, must equal to angle F, which tells us that F is also equals to X. Okay? Now that you know that F is also equals to X, it is possible for you to calculate the value of X. Okay? So what you're going to do is that angle X plus 80, they add up to 180 degrees. So X from G plus X from F plus 80 from E, they must add up to 180 degrees. Okay, I hope that one makes sense. And what will be your reason? Sum of angles in a triangle. Okay, I can see there's a network lag. I'm sorry, guys. I will check it out. Now, you also, when you have a statement like this, you must also write the reason. Reason will be sum of angles in a triangle. Okay. Now you start to simplify and solve. So x plus x, they will give you 2x. So 2x plus 80 equals to 180. Okay. Now we are going to subtract 80 from both sides. 2x will be equals to 100 degrees. Then if you divide by 2, your x will be, let me wait for network. Okay. Now you divide by 2, also divide by 2, x will be equals to 50 degrees. Then you solved your question. Okay. So now, sorry about that. How do I scroll up without writing? Yes. So now we're going to solve this question. Now it says calculate the size of x and y. Okay. Now KLM is a straight line. It's given. So why did they tell you in a straight line? Because you need to understand what's happening about angles in a straight line. Okay. Now, how do we attack this thing? You have enough information about the triangle. So since you have enough information about the triangle, you can calculate the sum of angles inside your triangle. Okay, let me just increase it a little bit. Yes. Now I will say 50 plus 100 plus x they must equal 180 degrees. Reason sum of angles in a triangle. Reason is sum of angles in a triangle. Okay, now that you have your statement and your reason, you can proceed to your calculations. So 50 plus 100 is 150. Okay. So then we're going to have x, which is equals to 180 subtract 150. Remember, guys, your units are important. Since we are dealing with angles, your values must have degrees there, most specifically your final answers. Okay, now x is equal to 180 minus 150, it's 30 degrees. Okay, now that you have the size of angle x, you can calculate the size of angle y. Who can guess? Who can guess? Okay, since we are told here that KLM is a straight line, and we know that angles in a straight line are supplementary angles and they add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so you will say x plus y is equals to 180 degrees. Raising angles in a straight line. Okay, be patient, guys. This network is messing around. Okay, so x plus y is equals to 180 degrees, and then you must also write your reason after your statement. So you write your angles in a straight line. So now that we know what is the value of x, y is equals to 180 degrees minus x, which is 30. So y will be is equals to 150 degrees. Okay. Now, if you take note, this y is the same as if you add the two opposite interior angles of this triangle. Okay. Now, there's a theorem about that. Exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of the two opposite interior angles, which is this 100 and that 50 over there. Okay. Now let us deal with quadrilaterals. So there's an important fact that they're telling us here about quadrilaterals. The angles, they also recall that the sum of angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Okay, now that's an important thing to note. Okay, now here we are asked to find the length of the unknowns. Okay, now looking at number one. Okay, guys, before I continue, for you to master the content, please pause the video, solve the question, and pause and look at the workings if you've got them correct. Okay, now you can start and pause your video. Okay, now this is a parallelogram. The shape you see on the screen is your parallelogram. And what do you know about a parallelogram? It has two pairs of parallel lines, and it also have two pairs of equal lines. Parallelogram. Okay, this object has two pairs of parallel lines, two pairs of equal lines. So by saying that, that means AB, line AB is equals to line DC, which is equals to 7 centimeter. Okay, now AD is equals to BC, which is equals to 4 centimeter. Okay, your reasons are opposite sides of a parallelogram. Um, okay, the network issue has started. It's opposite sides of a parallelogram. Okay, now that you know how we got the sides, let's see how you get the angles. Now, in a parallelogram, sum of all angles must add up to 360 degrees. Now, that is not helping us with anything. Okay? Now, what we can see is that, okay, this angle of 100 and this angle of 180 degrees, they are co-interior angles. Similarly, the same 100, the same 100, it is a co-interior angle of what? Number C, of angle C. Okay, so C is equals to 180 minus 100 raising interior angles. Co-interior angles, what about them? They sum up to 180 degrees. Okay, red is too thick. Let me go back to black. Now, B will be 100. It is co-interior to A. It's also co-interior to C. So this was supposed to be angle C. Okay. Now angle B is equals to 180 minus 80 raising co-interior angle. Yes, B is equals to 180 minus 100 Erasing again, co-interior angles. No, minus 80 I meant. Okay, now that you have found all angles, take note about the opposite angles of a parallelogram. Can you see that opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal? Because B is 100 and C is 80. Because 180 minus 100 will give us 80. So B is 100 degrees and C is 80 degrees. So with that being said, opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. Okay, now let's go to number 2. What do we say about number 2? Now guys, since I've solved number 1 for you, I will give you a homework to solve number 2. Okay, pause the video, try to solve number 2. Okay, now number 2 will be same workings with the previous one. You are going to find that KL is 6 centimeter. Your resin is opposite side of a parallelogram. Okay, what did I say about opposite angles of a parallelogram? I said they are equal. So this will give K 102 degrees and L is 78 degrees. Okay, resin, you use the previous reasons. Some of interior angles they add up to 180 degrees. Or you can use opposite angles of a parallelogram. It's also valid. Now a kite. Okay. What do you know about a kite, guys? What do you know about properties of a kite? I can tell you what I know about a kite. This line is equals to this line. This line is equals to that line. Then angle D is equals to angle B. So that's what I know about a kite. Now, since a kite is a quadrilateral, that tells us that sum of angles inside a kite, they add up to 360 degrees. Okay, now let us solve for the angles. Now, since angle D plus angle B are the same, I will say let D equals to X so that we can easily substitute. Okay, now with that being said, 55 degrees plus 105 plus X from D plus another X from B is equals to 360 degrees. Interior angle of a quadrilateral, they add up to 360 degrees. Okay, that is your reason. Now, since we have 2 times X, it's going to be 2X. 105 plus 55, they give us 160. which is equals to 360 degrees. Okay. Now this gives us 2x to be equals to 200, because if we take 360 degrees minus 160. Are you following? Okay. Now, since you are following, let us wait for it to write first. Okay. Now, if we divide by 2, x will be 100 degrees. So, meaning that both D and B equals to 100 degrees each. So, meaning that this is equals to 100, D is equals to 100. Okay. Now I am done with all the angles. What about the sides? I already gave you that DC is equals to BC. So that gives us DC is equals to 40, not 40 but 4 centimeter, and AB is equals to 7 centimeter. What is your reason? Adjacent side of a kite. They are equal. Okay, that is your reason. Now, let us look at the following picture. Okay, now says calculate the sizes of the unknown angles in the following figures. Always give a reason for every statement you make. Okay, now lucky for us, most of the reasons are given. So this is like fill in the missing number. Okay, when it comes to number one. Okay, now they say x is equals to degrees. Reason vertically opposite angles. Okay, now x is equals to 105. X is equals to 105 degrees, and that is the reason. Vertically opposite angles. Now, if you take y, you add 105. How much will they give you? The reason is angles on a straight line. So angles on a straight line, they add up to 180 degrees. Okay. Now, if y plus 105 is equals to 180 degrees, what must I do to get y? You take 105, you subtract it from 180 degrees, jumps the equal sign, then it becomes negative. Okay, so it's 180 minus 105. Now, what will be the answer? The answer will be 75 degrees. Now, they want you to write the value of z. Reason is vertically opposite angles. What is z opposite to? Z is opposite y. So z will also be 75 degrees, the same as y. Okay, now this question 1 is similar to question 2. Both diagrams you are given one angle. and you are asked to calculate the others. Okay, now pause the video, do question 2. Calculate J, K, and L. Okay, now if we calculate J, K, and L, you will see J is equals to 64 degrees. Reason, vertically opposite angles. J is opposite 64. Okay, vertically opposite angles. Now, since J is equals to 64, about that, what will be K? K and J, they are on a straight line. So K plus J, which is 64, is equals to 180 degrees. Reason, angles on a straight line. Okay, yes. Now that is it. K plus 64, supposed to be 64, equals to 180. Now what will be the size of K? 180 minus 64. That will give us K is equals to 116 degrees. Okay. Now if K is 116 degrees, what will be the size of angle L? Angle L will equals to K, which is equals to 116. L is equals to K, which is equals to 116. Reason, vertically opposite angles. Okay. Okay. Now this will be your homework, guys. Okay. This will be your homework. It's the same as what we did previously. Calculate angles on a straight line. So you shoot a photo here and you write it as a homework to practice. Okay. Now here is the study of parallel lines. Okay. Since we didn't do parallel lines, I'm going to solve this question for you. So find the sizes of X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now, how do you know that these are parallel lines? Can you see these arrows here? They are there to tell you that these two lines are parallel. Now, whenever you have parallel lines, there are certain angles that are equal. For example, angles that are making a Z like this. This angle here and this angle there. They are equal and they call them alternating angles. Okay, so now that will give us the value of X. So remember, every time you write, there must be a statement and a reason, guys. Always, when you write, there must be a statement and a reason. So X is equals to 74 degrees. Reason, alternating angles are equal. You don't just write alternating angles. You need to tell us what about alternating angles. So we do know that alternating angles are equal. Okay. Okay. Now that you got, okay, guys, let us wait for it to write. Okay, so yes, I was fixing the jamming signal. Um, uh, X is equals to 74 degrees. Reason alternating angles are equal. So this becomes a reason over there. Right now, angle Y must equal 74 degrees. Now, for angle Y is going to be a different reason. Who can guess it? It's going to be 74 degrees. Now you have two reasons to select that. One of the reasons is corresponding angles are equal or vertically opposite angles are equal. So you can choose either of the two. Okay. So guys, it seems like I'm having a network problem. Yeah. So based on the network problem, I think I'll have to end the video here. I'll just give you more homeworks to practice. Okay, now this is the next one. Shoot a photo, try to solve it. Okay, it's all about angles here. Now you need to complete this flow chart. Okay, they did the first one for you. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 8, which is give you 12. All right, now same as the second one here. 2 plus 8 is 10. Okay, on number C. 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. Then you complete the rest. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. Okay, so that's the procedure, guys. You are going to complete all these diagrams here. Remember, it is your practice. Okay, all right, guys, remember to take a peek because I'm about to scroll. Okay, now solve the following equations. Basically, look for the value of x. Okay, remember you have laws like distributive law. Okay, so remember to use those ones. Okay, I'm interested in number 2. So law is x years old. Chapo is 4 years older than Cello. The sum of their age is 32. Write this information in an equation using x as a variable. So here they're teaching you how to create an equation, guys. Okay, so Cello is x and Chapo, which is older than Cello, is x plus 4 because they said 4 years than Cello. Then their sum must give you 32. Okay, okay. So also continue to solve that one. Um, you must also solve here, guys. This is simplification. Here you need to simplify, guys. It's algebraic expression, not equation.